This morning, hostage families gathered in silent grief. Ori Danino, Eden Yerushalmi, Almog Sarusi, Hirsch Goldberg Polin, Carmel Gat and Alexander Lobanov had, say the IDF, been killed by Hamas near Rafah. Hamas says they died from Israeli fire and bombing. One of the dead hostages, Almog Sarusi, was buried later this afternoon. And for the relatives of the 100 or so Israeli hostages still missing, unsure whether they might still be alive, these scenes are a purgatory.
This is like the sad reality of the Russian roulette, that you can breathe, but other families can't. You can breathe a little bit now, because it's not my brothers. But some other families' life got destroyed.
Bring them home, chanted protesters last night in Tel Aviv, which ended with scuffles. A half-day strike's been called for tomorrow in various towns in support of hostage families, some of whom blame the Israeli PM for repeatedly failing to agree a deal with Hamas.
All they care about is the politics, and they didn't approve to do a deal with Hamas, and so our loved ones are still there. And currently we don't see the horizon and don't know when they will be back with us.
Benjamin Netanyahu, however, blames Hamas.
Hamas steadfastly refuses all proposals. Even worse, at the exact same time, it murdered 6 of our hostages. Whoever murders hostages does not want a deal.
But further deep rifts have emerged in his cabinet, with Netanyahu accused of sabotaging his own negotiations by insisting on keeping troops on the so-called Philadelphia corridor between Gaza and Egypt as a buffer, something Hamas won't accept.
Do you blame Netanyahu for failing to reach a deal with Hamas?
Israel government has a lot of problems, of course. Israel government is not to blame. Israel government is not holding hostages. And the first and foremost is Hamas to blame.
The path to a deal remains unclear. On the one hand, hostage families, desperate and frustrated. On the other, Israel's hardline far right, led by Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who visited the West Bank today, where 3 Israeli soldiers had been shot dead in what he called a despicable terror attack.